All right, math book, page 333. Today we're learning about volume. Volume is very, very similar to area. When we learned area, that was length times your width. Well, now we're going to be learning about volume, and volume is the number of cube units within a three-dimensional figure. But it's also, I'm going to give you the formula, it's going to be length times width times height. So now we're adding in a third one you have to multiply by in order to find your volume. So we learned area already, that was length times width. Now we're going to be learning about volume, length times width times height. So also, in order to find it, they drew some cubes, so you could also find it by doing cubes. So let's look at some examples here. Let's see, on this page you have to do numbers 1 through 11, so just this page and that's it. We are on, sorry guys, I should have had my page turned already. My apologies. All right, so whenever you're doing volume, because you're multiplying by three things, it's going to be to the third power. That's going to be your 3 for your little exponent. So with area, it was squared. So you had square feet or square centimeters. You had a little exponent of 2. For volume, you're going to have an exponent of 3 because you're multiplying 3 different numbers. So it says write an equation to find the volume of a three-dimensional figure and then solve. So we know that one cube, one of these little squares, is a cubic, we're working in feet, cubic feet. So if I was going to tell you how many this is, it would be length times width times height. Well, it says write an equation. So my equation is going to be my length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, times width. That's how wide is it. If I had this sitting down on my table, how wide would this be? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 times height. How tall is it? It's only 2 feet tall. So then I'm going to work in order. 7 times 4 is 28 times 2, and then 28 times 2 equals 56. So my answer is 56 feet to the third power. All right, again, I'm using a big expo marker so it writes fatter than your pencil will. So that is how I write an equation. I just did my length times my width times my height to come up with my answer. So down here, you're going to write an equation for each picture in the series, then solve. That's your length times your width times your height, and then what does the volume equal? Whenever you multiply all those together, that is the volume. And then you have numbers 10 and number 11, two little word problems. They're actually really just problems, and not really word problems. It says explain how the volume changed with each new layer. So how does the volume change with each new layer? And then write an equation for the picture of the figure that would come next. So if this was the next one, 1, then you had 1, 2, this was 1, 2, 3. What do you think the next picture would look like? So you're going to write an equation for that picture, and then if you want to, go ahead and try to draw your picture. That might be kind of tricky. I think that would be tricky to try to draw it, but I could definitely write an equation of which one would come next. I have 1, 2, 3, which would be the next one. Any questions? Comment below.